Even at a young age, women are taught that they need to be perfect, not by their friends or family. No, but by the media, through advertisements telling us that this lipstick will make your lips appear full and smooth, and that this cream will get rid of any signs of aging and make your skin soft. And that it's not just the way we look that needs to be perfect. Chew with your mouth closed. Have better manners. Words that like that are not for you to say. It can be more than frustrating, especially when in our teen years the same thing is being passed on. We admire symmetry of the human body as, once again, such is regarded as perfection. Photos are photoshopped. Women and men strive to look like something that may be impossible. But imagine if models didn't starve themselves and that photos weren't edited. Imagine that advertisements were truthful about cosmetics, which did the opposite of the desired effect. What would we strive for? We would have no goals. We would no longer be disappointed in ourselves. We would no longer be more motivated to do something, to change for the better. It scares me that when I try to think of what might happen when we did not strive for perfection, I find almost nothing. Minuscule amounts. There would be no need to be educated, so children would stop going to schools because of low education. Anyone hired to work would not be able to do much. If anything, no one would be able to count the wages. Bills would either be over or underpaid, and no one would notice. Life would fall into oblivion. I sit and ponder things like these as I stare at myself in the mirror, and nothing but my undergarments. I began to look myself over, starting at the top of my head, and this lists the imperfections I find, wanting so much for everything to be perfect. 1. My hair is frizzy. 2. My left eyebrow is shorter than my right, and is thinner. 3. My right eye is smaller than my left. 4. My eyelashes are too short. 5. My lips aren't completely centered. 6. My neck is too thick. 7. My shoulders are slanted too far downward. 8. My left breast is smaller than my right one. 9. My rib cage is too wide. 10. My waist isn't small enough. 11. My stomach isn't flat. 12. My hip bones are not obvious enough. 13. I have a pear-shaped figure instead of an hourglass. 14. My thighs are too big. I'm not perfect, I whispered, my horribly unsymmetrical brown eyes staring back at me, so brown they was almost black. If I'm not perfect, I'm not beautiful. Tears welled in my eyes and eventually fell. I noticed with disdain that my tears were more beautiful than I was, and I angrily wiped them away. They were perfect and I was not. Why are you not perfect? I asked my reflection, head astride bubbling over. You're not perfect. You should not leave. I screamed, punching the glass and ridding myself of the ugly that I had stared at merely moments ago. The glass fell to the floor, along with droplets of crimson. They were just as beautiful and perfect as my tears were. I lifted my hand as I examined it. I'm going to have scars. Now I'll never be perfect. I shouted to no one in particular, infuriated at the blood that was running over my wrist. I picked up a shot of glass, tracing the exact same patterns on the other hand, cutting my palm and infuriating myself further in the process. I moved the shot of glass to my left hand, again inflicting the cuts in my palm. Eventually I dropped the shot of glass, momentarily fascinated by how it shone and shimmered, stained pink with my blood. Another perfect thing to do to compare myself with. Quietly, I stood in front of empty frame and that had once held a mirror, had once held a person, so imperfect, it was indescribable. It was horrible. Again, I thought about what us human beings would strive for, if not perfection. Again, nothing much came to mind. Almost everyone strived to look perfect, to look perfectly, and almost everyone was perfect. I was not one of them. Hysterical laughter caused my body to tremble, and I sat on the floor, making sure no glass shards were beneath me. Perfect, I murmured, still laughing. I must. Ha ha ha, be perfect. I suddenly frowned. I once again stood, making my way out of the room through shattered glass and towards a larger, more open space. The fact that I was still bare didn't bother me in the slightest, other than the feel of the carpet beneath my feet. Its perfect, comfortable texture angered me. Another reminder that I was perfect, and I was not. Eventually, I made it to the garage. The lights flickered on, and I glanced downwards at the perfectly flat concrete below me. Though for once, I was not distracted nor angered by it. There was something else that drew my attention. It was a life-size doll. She was my beautiful and perfect recreation. She had my mother's smooth blonde hair and my father's shockingly green eyes. She had my sister's pixie-like complexion and slender neck. She had my maid Rita's torsos, large breasts, and a trim waist, and large hips, creating a lovely hourglass figure. She had my neighbor Elena long, slender legs and arms. And then she had my lovely adopted daughter's feet and hands, small and cute. And she also had that beautiful skin tone, pale as the moon. I called her Helen. The thick black thread that held the pieces together did not bother me, nor did the smell of rotting flesh. The blood on the floor I could clean later, but now I simply wanted to stare at my masterpiece, my perfect creation. I smiled. I am not perfect, but you are.